Welcome back. On this week's video, we're looking at all the out-of-contract players for Sheffield Wednesday and deciding who stays and who goes. We've got Tom and Matt back with us. Thank you very much for joining us. We're going to get straight into it. Here we go. There's quite a lot to get through, as you might imagine. Let's do the loan players first of all, then, shall we? Some of these are easy, some of these are not so straightforward. Tom, starting with you, Shea Charles, James Beadle.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to keep them, especially Charles, but we have absolutely no chance of that happening. So I think those two are gone. I think next season, Pierce Charles will probably be the number one. And then Sissoko, haven't seen much of him, but he hasn't done much since he's been here. So, yeah, wouldn't take him either. So not great.
Yeah. Beadle, how much do you think Beadle will cost you?
Yeah, I think it'd be similar to what they've got there. I think it'd be a few million, seen as he's England, international. There'd probably be a sell-on, but I don't think we have that kind of money to spend on a keeper. And although he's been good for us, he hasn't been amazing the last few weeks. So, stick with Pierce Charles and hopefully he can, earn us some money in the future.
Okay. Take the others there for us, Matt. Musaba, Famier, Patterson, Valentin.
Gone for me.
All of them.
Anthony Musaba has shown fits and starts, but he was good last season. He's had a very much injury hit season this year. I think at 24 years old, it depends on the money, is the honest answer. Akin Famayo looked absolutely unplayable at the start of this season, but every single year he has been at Sheffield Wednesday. I think he signed in the promotion season for us. He's had a huge and lengthy spell of at the back out. Nicest one in the world. We just can't rely on a player like that. Callum Patterson, in the last handful of games that he's played, really, really effective. You know what you get. He is one of the higher earners, as obviously we've covered on the pod previously, unless he is coming in on heavily reduced wages. For me, I would imagine seeing him up the road in Scotland. Paul Valentin, really try hard, works himself into the ground, just not got the quality, sadly. And again, I'd be looking to move on from him.
Yeah, I don't know. Patterson is only 30. And he looks, it's crazy. Right, let's do some more then. Tom, we'll leave Bannon for a second. Michael Smith, Tom, please.
Again, looking at the higher earners, I'd probably get rid. This depends on what we'd also bring in, because we haven't exactly got much up front. So if we're not going to bring anyone in, then maybe keep him. But I think Smith probably would have to go just because of his wages. Same with kind of Johnson. Pierce Charles, obviously I'd keep, and hopefully he'd be number one next season. And then Bannon and Palmer, I'm not too sure how much Palmer's on, but if they're willing to just kind of be squad players, Bannon, we still rely on him, so he'd have to start, and maybe just keep him for old time's sake. But
Okay. Matt?
Michael Smith, heavily reduced terms, but ultimately I think that there's better out there. I think you can find a goal scorer in the division out there, and also dependent on it, there's a high likelihood that we're going to be dealing with a new manager as well. I would imagine that he drops back down to League One and goes and scores bucket loads of goals again, and sees out the last 2 years or 3 years of his playing career scoring for fun in League One. Liam Palmer, at 33 years old, you never want to say time's time, because he has only ever had a loan spell elsewhere at Tranmere. I genuinely wouldn't like to see him waste the last 2 years of his playing career just rotting on a bench and being given a token appearance here, there and everywhere. Marvin Johnson, thank you very much for the memories. Wonderful song. Off he goes. Pierce Charles, I believe, has signed a new contract in the season just gone, so I think he will be locked in. So I think potentially that isn't something that we'll have to cover. Barry Bannon should be given a contract for as long as he wants at this football club, and as long as he wants to keep going, we should keep offering him a deal. He has been an incredible servant to the football club, stayed when many others would have left. We are overly reliant on him. We have been this season. I would imagine we are again next season. It would be a really, really wonderful sight to see a player like him making the occasional midweek appearance and coming off the bench most weeks next season. And we should be looking to move away and rotating him out over the course of a 2-year thing. We spoke on this exact point last year, Mark.
You did.
We did. We spoke on this exactly last year. You need a 2-year transition from Barry Bannon because of how important and integral he is to that Sheffield Wednesday squad. You're not going to do it in one summer. You're not just going to go cold turkey from a player like that.
Yeah. 36, though. When I watch him, his legs are still there. 36 doesn't worry you?
Yes. Of course it does. As a 35-year-old man. Yeah, it does. It does worry me, but his injury record has been really good. He's carrying an injury at the moment, and he's still playing through that. I don't think he should be starting games for Sheffield Wednesday moving into next year and beyond. But I do think that there should always be a place for him at this football club because of the impact that he's had. Now, there is an argument to say that you should probably do that for Liam Palmer as well, with how integral he was in getting us up from League One. I just feel that, clubs occasionally, and it is very rare in modern football, they get a player who just kind of, it fits and it would feel right for him to carry on turning out for us. I would pretty much argue any mid-table, not top end of the division, but like any mid-table, like lower reaches of the division, they would 100% offer Bannon a punt on a year deal. And there are several clubs who this season have said, wow, I can't believe I'd give anything to have him in our side, still at 35. So I do think that there is still a place. The injuries don't concern me as much. It's when that drop-off does come, I think it is going to be quite sharp, if that makes sense.
Okay. Thank you very much, both of you, for that really sensible discussions. If you disagree or agree with anything that the lads have said here, you know what to do. Drop it in the comments. We'll read some of these out next week. Then, trip to Cardiff for you both. Then this weekend, bit of a journey, that isn't it, on a Saturday? But are you hopeful for 3 points, Tom?
Yeah, I mean, I think we just got to end the season strong. Just try and get as many points as possible, and then just see if something can happen for the playoffs. But yeah, I'm not sure if Matt's going, but if he is, then just hope. Have a good night out at least.
Thanks, mate.
Okay. Watch out in the Cardiff bars. Right, see you then next week. We'll review that game and also look ahead, of course, to the next home game as well against Hull City, which should be a good one. See you then.